Good afternoon, traders. Chris Buss here with Traders Profit Compass with an afternoon update on the markets. What I'm going to do is hit the indexes as I always do, and then move on to FAAMG, and then I've got a bunch of setups for you. So you might want to get a pencil and paper to write down the levels and the tickers as I go through them, or you can just pause the video, whatever you prefer. Anyhow, starting with SPY 30-minute chart. We came down here on the open and basically tagged gap support here at 331, and that was all she wrote. That was a good opportunity to buy, but you also could have bought the breakout here of 332.40 that we pre-identified. And you can see again from this range, we've pretty much met the measured move target. I think at this point, I mean, nothing's for sure, but I think we'll go ahead and tag the all-time high. I have to check and see what that is. I know it's coming up here soon, but I think with the Qs at all-time highs, SPY is gonna reach up to try and tag that number. And then we'll have yet another reference level. If it were to break out there, then that would be a huge level of support if it just keeps going. So good day so far. Hope you got some of those trades if you're active. Let's move on to the Qs. We had the box identified from yesterday. We got the breakout here. That would have been a great place to buy with a stop just below, and that's all she wrote. So all blue sky ahead, no natural sellers. We just got a bull cross right here on the PPO. RSI's overbought, but that can stay overbought. So just have to manage the trade. And depending on your time frame, you can move your stops up either bar by bar or wait for a swing low to get put in. Then you can move your stop up. So looks good. IWM has kind of taken the day off as money flows into tech. I think it's up a little bit here, or down a little bit. You can see the little dashed blue line where we opened. So down a little bit, nothing to worry about. If you got in on the breakout, you could move your stop up to this swing low if you wanted to, or just let it ride. We've got a nice uptrend line here. That should act as support. I think anything north of 150 is bullish, but you probably don't want to have or hold through a gap fill and all that stuff. So you can just use this uptrend line as your guide to stay long. Last night I told you somebody was going to make a ton of money on these FAAMG setups, and somebody did. Facebook, 249, gone. I hope you got part of it if you were actively trading. Even if you missed this, move to the top of the box. If you had 256 alarmed, you still made a great trade. So really explosive move. Unbelievable. Amazon grinding its way up towards the top of the box, not as dramatic as Facebook or Apple, as we'll see, but nonetheless moved past the center line of this trading range, and I expect it to go up to at least 32.50 at the top of the box. So that one's looking good. Apple. If you had this level alarmed here at 443, you got the breakout, and you got what looks like about a $10 move. So again, an explosive breakout. And really, if you look at if you look at the PPO, I mean, it's just poised right here to make that bull cross and go, up. So we could be looking at, 460, 470. It doesn't have to go there in a straight line, but I mean, the technicals are supporting the move. So, I mean, really, really strong. So that looks good. Microsoft has got a late day lift here to the top of the box. Get your alarm out and make sure you got 215 alarmed. And if it takes it out, you can get long against 215, which was the prior high. I wouldn't worry about this. That was kind of an overshoot on TikTok. But I think if you get this level here, 215, and break above, I think you can shoot long with a stop just below, like, 214.50 or 214.75, something like that, and just stay long against the box break. And let's see, that's $4 wide. So we'd be looking at, 219, 220 as a measured move target. So that looks real good. Google just entered the gap. So it's got a $33 gap to fill. You could get long, against the gap, or get long against $14.90, depending on your risk tolerance. But if all the FAANG's going up, I think, Google has a good chance to fill this gap, especially since it's spent a few days here digesting that earnings disappointment. Probably the people that wanted to sell have sold, and now we're going to move higher. That would be my guess. But like always, set your stop and see if you can get a push into the gap. Then you could raise it up to this 1505 level and set your stop just below. We're short Intel. It's staying below our stop, but if everything continues to rip, it may not work. But it's not hurting me not right now. I haven't made any money, but it's not hurting me, so I'm going to stay in the trade and really make price take me out. I'm in the September 47.5. So we'll see if this was just a kickback rally to resistance and now it's going to fade away, or if it can come back and take out this 49 level. I think I got in. Yeah, I got in right here, right near 49. So it's still below that level, so I'm going to stay in. Okay, so I went through and looked for some bracket setups and some other interesting setups that you might want to make note of. This is Aaron's Rental Furniture. It has already reported earnings. Got the gap up. We've got key resistance here at 55.25, something like that. Why don't you set an alarm there right at 55. See if we can get a breakout. Given this move here of about $10, I think 65 is a reasonable first target on a breakout. That would be your measured move, $10. I don't have it all boxed in here, but that's what it would be. It gapped up from 45, went to 55. So I think we can get, in the $65 range where, it's previously been, if we can get the breakout above 55. ADP doesn't look nearly as bullish. We've got this key support here at 132.50. I've set an alarm there for a potential breakdown. It also could be a potential long there. I think price is going to come back and maybe test this one last time and see if it holds. There is some air up ahead, above it. You see the gap down. and then a move lower, and then a back test of this bracket. If I were to box in this candle, we're back testing that breakdown right now, and it's still lower. So this looks a lot like a bear flag. So if this extends and breaks this 132.50, we could be down in this 122.50 area if it breaks. And if it holds, and it looks like we're going to the moon in the market, maybe that holds and we can get a nice long entry there after yet another back test of this key support area. So that's an area of interest, 132.50 on ADP. Alarm. This is the company that's in the space with ADP or ADT, the alarm company, that just announced a partnership with Google. So that has hit this alarm. You can see the gap down. Price is still within the original bracket. So what I'd like you to do is alarm 58 and alarm 64. And there's a gap above that needs to be filled. And then there's the 200 down here at 53. So I think a break below, you're going to get a test of the 200. And if it breaks above, you're going to get that gap fill and probably go on to retest the highs at 74. So that's an interesting one. Blue Apron. You can see here it was pretty much a dead IPO. I can't remember what it IPO'd at, but it had, it was down here at $2, and then COVID hit, and it did a moonshot, came back to key support, and got a nice bounce. But now it just reported earnings. I don't know what they were, but it gapped down, and now price is below all the moving averages. So there's a gap above here to about 1150, and there's room to move down to this key support at 625. So I think if you alarm 825 and 925, that'll give you a heads up on the move. I suspect what happened was they, even with all the business, they weren't making any money, and that caused the gap down. And if you can't make money during COVID in the meal delivery business, maybe it's going to be hard for them going forward. I don't know, but that's a nice bracket trade setup. Monster Energy going the other way. It just reported, got a nice gap up. Today's follow-up move is filling in the box. I would alarm 84 and 81 for either a move outside the bracket to the upside or the downside. There is a gap here to fill down to 78. So like we always do, follow price, either higher or lower out of the box. We talked about this New Relic stock still absorbing that 20-something% gap down to key support. Hasn't violated it yet. So I would just use this 55 level as the key. You can box it in if you care to, but if you were going to go long, probably now is the time to do it. If you're going to wait for a short, then, just wait and see if that 55 level breaks. So that's the ticket on New Relic. Shake Shack. We've got a level here at 47.5. that has, stood the test of time. It's been support. You can wait for another tag up and try a long, but if it breaks after, all these support tests, chances are it's going to go way down. I don't have it drawn in here, but if you can envision a big head and shoulders, as we talked about yesterday in the measured move, we're here at, let's say, 62.5 down to 47.5. So that's $15. If it were to break here, 15 from 47, has it coming back to tag the March lows. So that's not a prediction, it's just a projection, but definitely 47.5 is a key level to watch, both for bulls and bears. C.H. Robinson, the truckers have been on fire. C.H. Robinson is, I think it manages fleets, and it also is a truck broker. Just reported earnings, got the gap up. It's been consolidating within the bracket. I think if you can alarm 96.50 and 92, those are the right levels for this one. 96.50 and 92. If the truckers stay strong and the market stays strong, I'd expect a breakout, and then we'd have a great level to shoot against on the upside. FireEye, same thing. Reported earnings, gap up here to 16.25, and the low side of the range is 14.75 with a big gap below. So I'm not sure what to expect on this one, to be honest. I think it's been lagging most of its peers, Cyber and Proofpoint and some of those other cyber security names. But maybe it's back on track now, so I wouldn't hesitate taking a long coming out of this box at 16.25, and I wouldn't hesitate at all about shorting it if it fails, and looking for this gap fill back to 13.25 in the 200. So those are the levels on FireEye. This PagSeguro software name has kind of fallen off the radar, I think. People used to talk about it all the time, but you can see here, even before March, it was kind of losing steam, and of course it's bounced since then, and we've still got this $4.50 $5.50 gap here to 46. So if we can break this 41.5 level, I think we can get a push up here to 46 to close the gap. I don't think I'd be inclined to front run it here at 40. I mean, if it's going to go, it's going to go. So I'd rather wait for 41.50. I have that alarmed in my system, and I want to take that long up to 46 at least on a breakout. And if the Qs stay strong, I think it's got a good chance to break out and fill that gap. Last one, L Brands. Got a gap up. Went up here to 26.75, and the low side of the gap is 23. Just alarm those levels. Take it long above and take it short below. There's a nice $4 gap below. This is one of those mall retailers that, has really fallen on hard times. I'm sure you've read all about it. This used to be, $100 stock, and just has been decimated over the last couple years. But don't let that influence your thinking. Just follow price. So 26.75, I like it long. Below 23, I like it short for a gap fill. Okay, it's coming up on 3 o'clock. We'll see how they close it today. It'll be interesting. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to get you some timely and informational content on a regular basis. Please subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified when I make another post. Over in the show notes, I'd certainly appreciate it if you check out the blog. And if you're interested in getting my content 6 times a week, register at tradersprofitcompass.com and be heading your way with timely content. Okay, thanks for the time. This has been Chris Buss with Traders Profit Compass. Have a good rest of your trading day. Talk to you soon.